Okay, so I think this is going to be the final video. We've just got 3 people left. Okay, so first up we have the Vilna Gaon, the Gaon of Vilna. Also a bit of a larger-than-life character, seen also as one of these special people that stand out above the rest. Brilliant man, seen as a genius. And quite influential in terms of his disciples. So his disciples went out and created, the whole Lithuanian tradition of learning, the Brisker tradition, and so on. And he's also very remembered for his fight against Hasidism. Now, that didn't turn out to be successful, and now his legacy in the Haredi community in that regard is a bit suppressed, because the Haredi community nowadays is less anti-Hasidic. And his fight with Hasidism was later on, even just a generation later, was replaced by a common Haredi fight against the Haskalah, against Jewish enlightenment. So in that regard, that legacy didn't live on, but in his time, that's what he was quite famous for. Now, in terms of his writings, I don't know. I don't think his writings are that influential. Okay, he has a bit of commentary on Shas and a bit of commentary on Shulchan Aruch. Are they that influential? I don't think so. Yes, he sometimes has nice ideas, but the Vilna Gaon is not a name you encounter a lot when you study either Talmud or Shulchan Aruch or Halacha or anything. You more encounter him through his disciples, really. So I don't know if he was that influential in terms of his writings. I may be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. In terms of his attitudes, he was on the one hand quite zealous and quite uncompromising, but on the other hand, he was also quite open to secular study. He even has a book on trigonometry and geometry. Again, I remember when I was in yeshiva, it was like pointed out, the Gaon of Vilna was so great that, even in mathematics he was great. And I read his whole book on mathematics. I should say, now that I actually have a degree in physics, and I've actually studied mathematics, including mathematics of that era, in terms of, compared to kind of the great mathematicians of his time, he's nothing. His mathematics book is incredibly derivative. There's nothing new there. Literally nothing new there. He didn't make any contributions to astronomy. It's more of a collection of, almost a summary of a bit of what he learned from other sources. So there's no original kind of scientific thinking. I think in Haredi communities, there's quite a contradiction there. On the one hand, they'll often say how you mustn't study secular studies and you shouldn't study, Chakira and blah, blah, blah. But when somebody, a great Torah scholar, actually does have an interest in secular studies, it will be overhyped as if they were this great mathematician and they knew everything, and and even the Goyim was so nispol and so impressed by their knowledge. It's really, really not the case. His mathematics is really, really derivative, and there's really nothing new there. And even for his time, by the time that Gaon of Vilna was writing, algebra was quite developed, and his book is very, very his use of algebra is basically very, very rudimentary, and even for his time, I think it's quite behind. This is just talking about his mathematics book. So yeah, I don't know where to put him. He's seen as this larger-than-life figure. I don't know why. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments what I'm missing here. For me, okay, brilliant man, but what's his legacy? Okay, his disciples, but his writings on didn't leave such a big legacy. His fight with Hasidism didn't leave such a big legacy. So I'm not sure. I think this might be my most controversial choice. And let me know. Maybe I'm missing something, because he is, it feels wrong. I'm going to put him in B. It feels wrong because he's the Vilna Gaon, but I don't know I don't know why he should deserve bigger than B. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Okay, final 2 people. The Sefer Hasidim. So this is Yehuda HaChossid, the great of the Hasidai Ashkenaz. Now, Hasidai Ashkenaz, they are very pietistic, very saintly, very medieval. And this is just me, but the way the only way I view them is, the only word that comes to mind when I think of the Hasidai Ashkenaz is Dark Ages, superstition, magic, unnecessary piety and asceticism. These are people who really, really hated life. They hated life, and they thought it's virtuous to hate life, and to be miserable. And their philosophy is about being miserable. I know I'm oversimplifying, but it is about feeling guilty for pleasures of life, and self-denial, and a lot of superstition. So much superstition. Sefer Hasidim, so much superstition. so much superstition of all kinds of things you can do and cannot do because it will be bad for you. I want to say BS. And it's quite influential to this day, sadly, because the Haredi community to this day is quite superstitious. Quite influential in terms of pioneering this movement of Hasidism. These are the early Hasidim. This isn't the later Hasidim that came with the Baal Shem Tov, but there are parallels there. Quite mystical, quite pietistic. I'm going to put him in C tier. He's an easy C tier for me. And finally, we have Rabbi Yehuda HeLevi, the Kuzari, a Jewish philosopher and poet. Now, I don't think his philosophy is necessarily... It's definitely not on the level of Rambam. I'm not saying he's a terrible philosopher, but he hasn't been influential beyond Jewish circles at all. He hasn't made a mark on kind of wider philosophy. I have read bits of the Kuzari. Not incredibly impressive, not incredibly kind of, brilliant. He's a great storyteller. He's a great writer. When I say great writer, by the way, I don't mean clear writer, because it has the same problem. It's translated from Arabic, and it has the same problem. It's Arabic grammar, Hebrew words, so it's difficult to write. But he's a good storyteller, and he's quite respected as a poet. Nowadays in secular Israeli culture, they see him as this great Hebrew poet, I don't have strong opinions about him. He's also quite respected in Zionist circles because it was this great lover of Zion. I think he even made Aliyah. Did he make Aliyah? Did he go to Israel? I think so. I'm not sure, but he definitely wrote poems about Israel, so he's respected for that. I think he's a B. He's a B tier. I'm going to put him in B tier. All right. So we're finishing off here. Let's see what we have. We have quite a nice spread. D tier is completely empty, and as I said, this is because I've already picked people who they can't be D. By virtue of the fact that they've been picked, out of all the rabbis out there, they've been picked to be on this list. They are the greatest. So that's why D is empty. In S, we have just 3 people: the Chazon Ish, the Ramchal, and the Rambam. I think those are well deserved. I think that those are easy choices for me. Actually, Chazon Ish, I don't know. I think Ramchal and the Rambam are more S tier than Chazon Ish. I don't know if Chazon Ish would be S tier again if I was doing it in 300 years' time. It's difficult with history because only history tells whose legacy lives on. Chazon Ish is a 20th century person, so obviously he's highly regarded. Will he be seen the same in 200, 300 years? It's difficult to know. Rambam and Siddur Shurim, they've stood the test of time. We know they're great. Chazon Ish, I don't know, but he's still an S tier for me. We have A tier, B tier, and then we have C tier, which is mainly mystics, people who are nasty, people with messianic complexes, and Yoel Teitelbaum because he hurt me. So that's it. Well, this series turned out to be far longer than I thought it would be. It was great fun for me. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've learned something. There'll be a link available to this. I've created this ranking thing. I'll put a link to it somewhere in the description of the videos or of the kind of series. Let me know what you get. I'd be interested to see if you get something that's very different. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm very interested to hear what you think, and also let me know. I'm wondering, I haven't done videos in a while. There's a reason for that. You know what? I'll just say it. I'll be honest and vulnerable. I've gone through a difficult period with my mental health, and for many months I haven't been in a great place, and I think I'm slowly recovering and coming out of it, and I'm in a bit of a better place mental health wise. So I hope I'm in a space now where I can make a bit more of content. So let me know what you want to see. Obviously, the areas of my interest are Jewish history and culture, philosophy, physics as well, and obviously my journey of growing up in a Hasidic community and leaving that. So if you want me to talk about anything or make any videos, let me know. It doesn't mean I will do just because I request it, because I am busy and for other reasons, but let me know what you think. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Let me just show you the final result here so you can get the full screen. So here you can see the final result, hopefully. Can we fit everything in? If we can fit, can you see everything on the screen? Anyway, that is the final result. Thanks for watching.